So I got a cool story for you. I've got a student named Brian who about a year ago, I was dropping my car off at the airport and he was my valet. So I would drop off my keys and he would, be super nice to me. This goes on for a year, right? And we build, it's kind of a friendly relationship. And about, 3-4 months ago, I come home from Dallas and I go to the valet to get my car. And he hands me the keys and he says, hey, I just want to say thank you. Today is the last day I'm working here. I just want to say thanks for the relationship. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. You got a different job. He goes, no, I joined your mentorship a year ago and I made $180,000 and today's my last day on the job. I'm going full-time in real estate. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is, how is it that we've been talking for a year and you didn't say anything to me? And he said, well, because I listened to what you said. You said connect with the other community members, do deals with them, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing deals with other people, and I just didn't want to bother you. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, take my cell phone. Anyway, he sends me a text this morning. This is now 3 months after he's gone full time in real estate, and he says, I've got a deal that I'm wholesaling, but my buyer cannot get financing on the purchase. This happens a lot in real estate where the type of loan programs that are available, especially in the way the debt markets are right now, debt markets would be banks, right? The way they're structured right now, they're not giving loans to these types of properties. We're gonna break it down for you today in this video. So I gave Brian Monty, my lender, I said, tell him to use myinvestorloan.com, which is who I use for most of my stuff. myinvestorloan.com. And he came back and he said, My Investor Loan says it's too small of a loan. They don't want to do it. I'm like, ooh, Gator. This is a Gator deal all day long. So we're going to see if I can make money right now on a call and we can figure this out. And I'll structure how I'm going to make money on this without any of my own money. It'll be kind of cool.
Hello.
What up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm really good. So you've got a wholesale deal. You are wholesaling it to an end buyer.
Correct.
He's going to go and fix and flip it, or is he going to go do like the Burr strategy and keep it in his portfolio?
Keep it in his portfolio.
Okay, so he needs $125,000 for the purchase.
Yep.
How much are you going to make on it? You going to make some good money?
Yeah, we're making 70 on the assignment fee.
$70,000 on the assignment fee?
Yeah.
Good for you, bro.
Thank you, man. They keep telling us, these lenders, oh no, you're making too much. They told the end buyer, oh, they're making too much money. We're not going to pay because they're making too much money.
It does happen, sadly.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it does happen. You'll run into that from time to time, just people counting other people's money. It's so stupid. It's like, how does it logically make any difference for you how much money I'm making? If I make $1 or $1 million, if it's something that you'd loan money on, why does it matter how much money I'm making?
It's good to hear you say that because that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what? It's 140 grand below market value as is, and it needs updated, and you're going to complain about $10,000-$20,000 extra dollars?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's a 5-plex that you're selling to these guys. You guys are making $70,000 total. They need $125,000 to purchase the deal. Is it $125,000 as a down payment towards a larger loan?
So they have a lender for the 3-unit and the 4-unit. The lender's been ready to go for 3 months on it. It's this 5 units. The lender hasn't been very good at communicating. It's actually a 4-unit property with an apartment in the back of the property that's been there for over 60 years.
Okay, so are there 3 properties or 2 properties?
It's actually 3 different properties.
Okay, so you got a 3-unit, a 4-unit, and then a 4-unit with a back unit, so a 5-unit.
Yes, correct.
I'm just going to call that the 4-unit plus.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So you've got 3 properties. You've got 1 lender that is coming to the table on the 3-unit and the 4-unit. So those are taken care of.
Correct.
Why is that lender not taking care of the 4-unit plus?
They keep saying, first off, they were saying it's a 5-unit. We don't do 5-unit. That's a commercial loan. So we don't want anything to do with it. But they didn't tell us that. They were trying to sell the loan to somebody else for 3 months and never told us anything. And so now I was just talking to the buyer. I'm like, hey, I said, I got to get you on the phone. I go, what's the problem? He goes, well, now the lender's saying it's actually a 4-unit with an apartment in the back. They want to know if that apartment's been permitted or, when was it converted from a garage to an apartment. And the seller told me just now, it's been that way for over 60 years. It's always been an apartment over the garage. He never converted it. He never did anything.
Okay, so You don't need any funding for the 3 unit and the 4 unit.
No.
You need funding for the 4 unit, and the purchase price is $125,000.
Correct. And then he wants money for rehab because they said people would give him money for rehab.
Okay, so does he need money for rehab, or he has money for rehab?
He needs money for it.
Okay, got it.
Couldn't come through with it.
Okay, cool. So he needs $205,000, and for that $205,000, this is probably going to end up having to be a Gator or a private money lender.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is he willing to give up some of the equity on the deal, or is he not willing to do that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I have not gone that far. I can find out.
Okay, and it seems like it's going to be a unique lender, so he's probably going to have to pay a little bit higher interest rate on the deal. Is he okay with that?
Yeah, he is. Yes.
Okay. Man, how was your seller waited around for this long?
God bless him. He's absolutely wonderful. I'm having him over for dinner. He's just great.
And that's been going on that long?
Yes, we bought it. We got it under contract, I think, in September.
Wow. Is this an Arizona deal?
No, it's West Virginia.
Okay, but I mean, you live here in Arizona. You're working West Virginia market?
Yeah, I connected with Mitchell.
Okay,
Mitchell Armstrong.
Love it. Okay, cool. All right, so he needs $205,000, and what if there's a loan broker fee? What if he has to pay a fee back to somebody that brokers a loan to him of, let's say, I'm just going to make it up, $10,000?
To me, I want to say he's open because he's been sitting on this for 3 or 4 months, and he's just pissed that he keeps getting screwed by every single lender. He just wants to get the deal done, get moving down the road with the property, because it's going to be a lot of money for him. He's going to make good money on the property. It's fully rented, and once it's updated, it's going to look even better, and he can raise rents, and it's going to be a great deal for him. So I think he'd be open to anything. Okay,
the lenders he's got on the 3 unit and the 4 unit, I know that those are separate and that you don't need those solved as a problem solver. But what if I brought somebody to the table? I mean, I don't know this is the case, but what if I brought somebody to the table that does the 4 unit plus? They also are like, yo, I want the business for the 3 unit and the 4 unit. Would he be willing to give them those loans, or has he already closed those loans?
Yes. No, he'd be willing to.
Okay, awesome.
The caveat to that is he just doesn't want to start all the way over at zero because we have appraisals, and he doesn't want to start over at zero and take 4, 6, 8 weeks to get it done.
Makes sense.
That's where okay.
Makes sense. Okay, let me get to work on it, okay?
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
No problem. I appreciate you, man. I'm super proud of you. Going from a valet to making $70,000 on one deal is freaking badass.
Well, just so you know, on my day off 2 weeks ago, I was making phone calls, and we got another deal. We got another 11 units under contract at 300, and we're going to sell them for 360.
Wow, dude.
Wait till when we meet for coffee or whatever I see you, I'll tell you how I found you and the whole thing. You're gonna be blown away. It's pretty awesome. So I really appreciate you, brother.
No problem. We'll do something fun. We'll do a YouTube video about your journey, and I'll have me, you, and Eric will film. It'll be fun.
I love it. All right, I'll talk to you soon, Pace.
All right, thank you, brother. See ya.
Bye.
Okay, so there's a lot of things to take away from this, a lot, and so let's break it down. Number one, this is why you join a community, okay? Because what he just did is he says, I just partnered with somebody named Mitchell out of West Virginia, and we're getting all these deals together. Mitchell's been in the community for a couple of years and helps a lot of people get a lot of their first deals. He jumps in, hangs out with Mitchell, they start going. He made 180 grand last year. This one deal, he's making 70 grand on this one deal. And what's fun for me is that I now am going to act as a gator. What's happening is there's a seller that has these units that sold these to Brian. Brian's the gentleman that I was just on the phone with. Brian is now wholesaling these to the actual buyer. I don't know the buyer's name. I will, because I'm gonna end up lending money to him. Not my money, but Gator money. That's the key component here. So Brian is wholesaling these units for $70,000. So obviously he has a massive motivation to try and get this deal done. Brian has been working with this seller for a long time. He's actually had the property under contract for 6, 7 months, right? Good amount of time. Seller's motivated, Brian, the wholesaler's motivated, the buyer's motivated, and all they need is money, okay? All they need is freaking money. What are the problems? Why will the lender not give Brian money for the 4-unit plus, but they will for the 3-unit and the 4-unit? Well, every lender has something called loan programs, right? Things in like categories that they'll loan on and categories they won't loan on. And it's interesting how one lender will lend on A and not lend on B, but then another lender will lend on B, but not on A, right? They all have different business models. It just is amazing. So you have to do your hunting and your searching. So what's cool is, you heard me say, hey, would your buyer be okay paying a loan broker fee? That would be my Gator fee in this particular situation. I'm actually going to be using Gator 2.0 to make some money and Gator 3.0 to make some money. Now, a lot of people think that Gator is EMD lending. I'm not doing any EMD lending here. I'm not doing any transactional lending, which is Gator 2 or Gator 1.0. Okay, so most people, when they think of Gator, they're thinking EMD. That's only Gator strategy number 1, okay? So obviously we are not doing any Gator 1 transactions. I'm doing Gator 2 and Gator 3. What is the Gator 2 part? Gator 2 is helping people get their purchase price loan. Gator 3 is getting them their private money loan for usually renovations, okay? Very typical. So there's 2 loans that are needed here. One is gonna be Gator 2 and another one is Gator 3. So where am I going to get this money? Where the heck am I going to get this money? Because if I teach people, hey, you can go make $10,000 putting the pieces together for this, which I can and I'm going to, you'll get a part 2 of this, and you tell everybody that they can do this without any of their own money, without any of their own credit, how the heck are you going to do this? Super easy. Super, super easy. Couple of things. I have other Gators, okay, inside of the Gator community that I'm going to go and gather this $80,000 from, and I'm going to connect all them together, and I'm going to get paid a fee for them to lend money to this borrower, okay? They want to lend money to the borrower because that's what they do, and I'm going to gather them together, create a partnership agreement, and I'm going to become a partner in this transaction, and I'll probably end up making $5,000 just on that part. I then am going to go find the lender for this. This is Gator 2.0, okay? Gator 2.0 here, Gator 3.0 here. Gator 2.0 would be the purchase price. I'm going to go find a loan off an actual lender who has money on these particular deals. This is what's fun about the type of loans that I do in Gator, is that I go find a lender that is willing to do crazy loans like this, and I get to pretend as if it's my money, and I get paid a $5,000 fee for bringing this to the table. So check this out. That lender will actually bring the money on the 4-unit plus. This is the beautiful thing, is that all I have to know is 1% more than this person and this person, and I can make $10,000 on their transaction. So think about when you're a Gator, okay? A Gator can come in here and go, I don't want to be Brian, because what is Brian doing? Brian is cold calling, he's following up, he's meeting with sellers, he's negotiating, he's learning sales skills, he's going out there and locking contracts up and spending a good amount of time and energy on marketing and all of those sequences that we just talked about. Brian does a lot more work than anybody else involved. Then the buyer has to go and do the renovation, deal with the contractors, deal with all this kind of stuff, and they have to then go and refinance and deal with all these things. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't want to do that either. What if you're just somebody that's like, I want to make money on somebody else's transaction? That is what Gators do. Gators come in and insert themselves and gather resources and bring resources to the table and get paid to do so. So I'm going to make $10,000 on this transaction. Well, I do a follow-up video of exactly how I do that. It might be a month down the road once the deal closes, but I will find the money. And in part 2, I'll show you how I find the money, so you can understand a little bit more what Gators do. Gators do way more than EMD and transactional lending. We'll do flip loans, purchase loans, BRRRR loans, DSCR loans. We'll do private money, anything that comes down to capital that is needed on a real estate or a business transaction. Gators can provide that. And it just depends on which Gator strategy we're talking about. So what a fun time to be alive in this world is, here we are. Gator, baby. You can make a lot of money without even being your transaction. And we'll do a part 2 on this video so you guys can see exactly how it works. We'll see you in the next video.